get what we accept. It's important to remember that. And we teach others how to treat us by what we let them get away with and how we allow them to treat us. And if we settle for the crumbs, we keep getting the crumbs. And it is time to stop accepting the bare minimum of life. It's time to stop accepting less than we know we truly deserve. And it is time to call in a better quality of life experience. So I want you to think about, what will you personally no longer tolerate? What are you going to stop accepting? What are you saying no more to? And I would like you, if you're here with me live, to type into the chat for me, please. What have you decided that you're going to no longer tolerate? So what are you going to stop accepting? What are you basically just saying no more to? And if you're watching the recording, you can type into the chat as well if you would like. Disrespect, that's a good one. Yeah. Disrespect as well is coming up for both of you. Okay, good. Right. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to it at a later stage. So what connects humans with our soul the most? So we've got a human self and we've got a soul self. I want you to think about what connects our human self to our soul self the most. You got any idea? If you do, type into the chat. What do you think connects our human self with our soul self the most? Connection. It's a good answer. Same. Yeah. So a really good answer. So what I have is experience. So our human and our soul are both here to learn through experiences. So when we have a spiritual or soul experience, our human learns from that, learns through that experience too. So connection is an experience. So you were both right. And when we have human experiences, our soul learns through those experiences too. So in the spiritual community, very often, a lot of people are detached from their body. They're floating about in the higher realms and they're forgetting that we're here to have a human experience as well. So we need to connect both of them. What I like to say is, like, our big self is our soul, because our soul is huge, it is infinite. And our human self is what connects us to the limitation and the material. We have to have them both going in the same direction and both working together. And the great creator, or God, goddess, source of all creation, the Most High, wishes to expand consciousness through us. And we do that by realizing that we are here to have a human experience. So we need to live our life fully in order for this to be fulfilled. So experience life to the fullest allows expansion to happen. And expansion is ascension. And we all are here to ascend. So some people think it's ascending beyond the human experience, but actually it's ascending through each stage of learning, each stage of experience, each stage of our understanding of life, our consciousness. Our consciousness will keep evolving, it will keep expanding. So expansion is growth, and we are all here to grow. So if you'd like, think of expansion as upgrading. So expansion is to upgrade. And we are here to upgrade our level of consciousness, our level of experiences, our level of awareness, and to upgrade the human experience for all. So when we do it for ourselves, we are opening up the possibility for all of us in the human collective. And when we upgrade our overall experience, We also give permission for others to do the same, and this helps to raise the human collective. So to create a new experience or create something healthier or better or more aligned, we need to release the old. So what do I mean by the old? So the old stories, the old beliefs, the old thoughts, the old attitudes, the old energies, and it just goes on and on and on. So we need to let go of who we have been. So we're not saying there's anything wrong with who we've been. We're not going to cast judgment on who we've been, but we're going to understand that we need to evolve past who we've been. We need to evolve past our old stories, our old beliefs, our old thoughts, our old attitudes and energies, and whatever else is there. And we let go with grace, we let go with compassion, we let go with love, and we let go with also appreciation. Because if we did not have the past self, we wouldn't be right here now, would we? So we have to understand that everything has got us to this point, but we need to keep growing to get us to the next point. So we can move forward, and that is to actively create more of who we truly can be, so that we can become all of our highest truth and highest version. And we are becoming the becoming self fully to become the new version and experience the new version. And then we're going to start living from that place. So we need to change the inside. So what's going on in the subconscious, so in our mind, and also energetically, and there in our body as well on a cellular level. So we change on the inside in order to create a different experience on the outside. So you need to have enough love for yourself to confidently create better for yourself. And it is not selfish nor greedy to want more or to create a better quality of reality or experience for yourself. And it is also natural to grow. It is natural to improve, and it is natural to upgrade, and it is natural to expand. And it is also natural to change for the better. It is also natural to want to do all of the above too. So if there's any part of you that is resisting that, there's a part of you wanting to stay stuck. And this is what I say as well. When we're in stagnation, that means a part of us is dying because it's not moving. It's not living. It's stuck. So we need to activate all parts of ourselves so they're living again. They're coming online. They're working with us. Because life is always moving and changing. And so must we keep moving with life and life's natural changes too. So I would like you to note down what I am about to share with you, because it's really going to help you. A better quality of belief or beliefs, thoughts, and feelings will generate a better quality of experience. So I'll say that again. A better quality of beliefs, thoughts, and feelings will generate a better quality of experience. Our beliefs fuel our thoughts. Our thoughts fuel our feelings. Our feelings fuel our actions, behaviors, and daily habits. Our actions, behaviors, and daily habits then go on and create the results or outcomes that we experience. And our results, outcomes, and experiences create evidence that we then use to support our beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. So it's like a loop. We go around, we can just keep looping and going around. We can have beliefs that then fuel our thoughts, that then fuel our feelings, that then create our daily actions, behaviors, and habits, that then lead to the results, outcomes, and experiences that then give us evidence to support the beliefs, support the thoughts, support the feelings, and then give us that permission slip to keep acting a certain way, behaving in a certain way, or having these daily habits until we do something to shake it up and change it and rearrange it. So, unsupportive beliefs, thoughts, and feelings create unhelpful actions, behaviors, and daily habits that leads to a result or an outcome or experience that we don't really want to experience. And that then leads to evidence to support limiting or negative beliefs we have about ourselves. So I did a video a while ago saying when I was working through some stuff, what came forward is this really faulty equation that I had in my mind that bad things happen to me, therefore I must be a bad person because I had a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of things happened to me in my childhood and my teens and my early adulthood. And I had this really faulty equation in my mind. Well, bad things happen, it must be because I'm a bad person. So then I had the belief that I'm a bad person, which was not true at all. The absolute opposite, which is what I am. And I know that now fully. But because I had that belief, it then created thoughts. It then created feelings. I then went in certain directions, had certain relationships with certain people, went into toxicity, went into negativity, had this thought that I deserved to be, treated badly because I deserved it, until I snapped out of it, until I realized that was not the truth and it was creating a reality that I did not want to experience. So unsupportive beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, they create unhelpful actions, behaviors, and daily habits that lead to a result, outcome, or experience that we don't really want to experience. I didn't want to be treated badly. I didn't want toxicity and negativity to be a part of my life. But because I had this default mode running in the background, telling me something, it was creating a reality for myself. And we do this all the time. We have all these thoughts and feelings and beliefs that go in a loop. And we create this evidence to support our faulty belief systems until we snap out of it. So I want you to both, with me live, and if you're watching the recording, I would like you to do this as well. Think about what you want to experience out of life. Think about what you want. And then think about what you are telling yourself on a daily basis and if that is supporting the outcome that you really want to experience. Supportive and aligned beliefs, thoughts, and feelings is what you want. Because if they are aligned with our desired results or outcomes, they create aligned actions, behaviors, and daily habits. And that over time creates our desired result or outcome. Then that creates evidence to support the belief that we can achieve. If we believe the most aligned beliefs and take aligned action steps. So I know my heart is pure. I've got the best intentions for others. That is fact. That is truth. But I have to connect with that. I have to believe that in order to have thoughts and feelings that support that belief, that then help me to create that reality that is truth. Anything that is not in alignment, I have to realize that I have to do some tweaking and modifying and change that because it is not my truth and it's going to give me an outcome that I don't want. It's going to give me experiences that I don't want. It's going to give me a reality that I don't want and is not going to help me in any way. So give me a thumbs up or a smiley face emoji if you're with me. Are you getting what I'm saying? Do you understand? Is it making sense? Yeah, good. Anita, are we on the same page? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so if you believe something 100%, what would you do from that place? What aligned action steps would you take? How would you move? How would you talk? What would your body language project out to the world about you? Because embodiment is just as important as the mindset work. Like I've said in past sessions, we have to get our nervous system on board. We have to get our physiology on board as well. It's not just what we feed our mind. We have to get it on a cellular level as well. These are things that I really want you to start thinking about on a daily basis as well, making sure that everything is alignment. And it's a daily practice. You have to keep practicing every day to get there. But remember, our beliefs, thoughts, and feelings create our actions, behaviors, and daily habits that lead to our results and outcomes that then leads to evidence to support our beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. So what beliefs do you need to adapt or to adopt to create a better quality of life experience for yourself? So you might want to take some notes right now. Think about what you want to experience, what beliefs, thoughts, and feelings are going to create the actions, behaviors, and daily habits that you need to then create the results or outcomes or experiences that you want. And then think about what you're going to do to maintain that as well. What action steps do you need to take on a daily basis to stay aligned? What I would like you to start doing as well is aim for love, peace, happiness, and joy as energies to stay in alignment with, because that's going to help you to stay in your highest truth. And this will then automatically align you with a higher standard of vibration. So anything outside of this is not your truth, and therefore will, from now on, be an indication that you need to realign back to your truth. So if you're not in that vibration of love, peace, happiness, or joy, then you're like, okay, what do I need to do to get back into it? Yeah, it's going to be like these little warning lights or alarm bells going off in your system, like, what do I need to do? I'm not where I need to be here. So how do you personally feel about making adjustments or changes to improve your overall experience? What are you going to have to do? Maybe you're going to have to set boundaries or put boundaries in place. Maybe you've got to make some important changes. Maybe you've got to stop something or start something. Perhaps you've got to maybe have an important talk with certain people, or perhaps it's something completely different for you in your situation. I want you to have a little bit of a think about what you're going to have to do, what adjustments, what changes. Because these are going to be your aligned action steps as well. This is what is going to get that ball rolling. This is what is going to create the reality that you really want to experience. I would like you to think about where you are limiting yourself. Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you playing small? Where are you not allowing growth or forward movement? And what is it that you're really afraid of? What is your biggest fear? If you knew you could not fail, would you still show up in the same way? If you took failure completely out of the equation, would you still be doing the same things? Would you still be believing the same things, thinking the same way, feeling the same way, doing the same things on a daily basis? So now I want you to go back to your answer from earlier of what you will no longer tolerate. So it was disrespect on the live call. I want you to think about, is there any fear or shame or guilt or resistance or anything else coming up when you think about making this actually happen? What's coming forward? So it's one thing saying that you're going to put a stop to being disrespected. What comes forward when you're actually thinking about doing it? Being in control. Yeah, that's a good one. Anita, when you're thinking about having no disrespect in your life from now on, what is coming forward? Feelings or thoughts or beliefs, you know. The same, being in control. Okay, that's really good. And eye contact. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is either work with one of you one-to-one, or you can just type into the chat if you're not comfortable about coming onto the camera, because I just want to just see if there's maybe anything getting in the way. So is either of you wanting to come onto the camera and work with me on this? Yeah, Francis? Okay. Okay, so if you just unmute yourself, Francis.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so when you think about being in control, and when you think about you no longer being disrespected, what's coming forward for you?
Being confident,
Yes.
showing to whoever is disrespecting me that I'm in control by making direct eye contact, and then not tolerating, basically just standing my ground.
Yeah. So in the past, when somebody disrespected you, or you had a feeling that somebody was disrespecting you, what happened?
I don't know, it gave me a feeling like I was being belittled,
Yeah.
and and I was looking away, but then afterwards, I discovered that, you know, people like that, you have to stand your ground and then look at them in the eye, and then they'll feel like, oh no, I'm messing with the wrong person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was you disrespected a lot as a child?
No, not a lot, not a lot, but it was mainly like in my early teens.
Okay, so I want you to go back to that time in your early teens. And
Yeah.
how did you handle it then?
Uh, so.
So if somebody disrespected you, so you're saying now as an adult, you would look them in the eye and you'd set some boundaries and you'd make it clear that it's not acceptable. What would
Yeah.
you do as a teen?
As a
What did you
what I
do as a
did as a teen, and also pre-teen, like in my early 20s, and
What
then
I want you to do is close
yeah,
your eyes and I want
yeah,
you to connect with teenage Francis.
oh yeah,
And I want you to see him putting up with disrespect and staying in situations that are not good for him and staying way too long in places where it's toxic or not good. And what would you say to him?
I'll say to him, you're out of there for good.
Okay. So what I want you to do in your mind, I want you to connect with him and I want you to tell him that he doesn't have to tolerate that anymore. Explain to him why. So you're the wise Francis coming in and explaining to him why it's no good for him to stay there. And you're going to give him the confidence with his head held high to walk out of that situation and he never has to go back.
Yeah.
And then when you've done that, I want you to bring that part of you into your heart. How does that feel?
Way better.
Because sometimes we have parts of ourselves that are stuck in the past. We have parts of ourselves that are going around in a loop of certain experiences. And sometimes that can prevent us from moving forward as well. So now that you've brought those parts of you whole now, integrated into where you're at right now, you can all move forward together into this new stage of your life. So now when somebody disrespects you, you're going to be able to stay strong and make it clear that you're no longer going to tolerate that, and you don't have to have people in your life that are not good for you. You don't have to stay in situations longer than you need to.
Yeah.
And I would commit to that as well and honor that. That's a promise that you're going to make to yourself from now on. And then Anita, is there anything that you want to work with me on that, or anything you want to type into the chat that I can help you with before we move on? Not now. Okay. Okay, thank you, Francis. You're good now?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, it's important to find the conflict. So identify the conflict. So we're going to have the old rejecting the new. So like we saw with Francis, there was a part of him stuck in the past and he was wanting to move forward. So his teen self would have been saying, well, I don't know what to do in this situation. I don't know how to handle this situation. This is overwhelming. This is too much. So he's had to bring the new version of him back to show the older part or the out of date part what to do moving forward. So the old rejecting the new. So it'd be the old belief, the old story, the old pattern, the old way, rejecting the new belief, the new story, the new pattern, the new way. So I want you to explore and give that part room, give it space to talk and be heard, and then go and clear it and carry on. We're going to do some self-inquiry now. So I want you to spend some time thinking, or you might want to put these questions into your notebook or journal and journal on these over the coming days. I want you to think about, what are you not saying no to in your life? So what am I not saying no to in my life's most important areas? Sometimes we can be afraid to say no. So I want you to think about if there's any area of your life where you're saying yes when really you want to be saying no. And what is the why? So the origin or the hidden story or the root of creation behind the inability to say no confidently when needed. And also, what do you miss out on due to the inability to assert yourself? And where have you ignored a full body yes that wanted to be said, yet wasn't ever spoken out loud? So sometimes our body will give us indications of what should be a no and what should be a yes. So if your body is screaming out saying yes, but you're not doing it, I want you now to identify that and also explore why. And the same for no as well. If you're not saying no when your body is screaming at you to say no, I want you to explore why. Where's that coming from? It could be your inner child, it could be your inner teen, it could be from an experience you've had, maybe in a relationship with a friend or a romantic relationship. Get to the root, get to the origin, get to the hidden story. We're now going to spend some time creating your own soul vows. So a vow is a solemn promise. So this is a promise you will uphold to keep on a soul level to create a better overall experience of your betterment on all levels. So an example would be, I vow to never abandon myself ever again, especially when I need myself the most. So this is acknowledging all aspects of self when they need, or so when a part of you needs your attention or your love or your energy or your time. And then you're going to step up and be there for you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time. And I want you to come up with at least 5 of your own, and I want you to commit to them. So I'll give you 5 minutes now for both of you to come up with your soul commitments, with your soul vows. I'm going to turn my mic off and my camera for 5 minutes and let you do that, and then I'll come back. We're getting on. I can see Anita's written some things down. So what I was going to say is you can share at least one with me today. So Anita shared a few. They're really good ones. So Francis, is there one that you would like to share? Maybe type into the comments. Type into the chat. Yeah, they're really good ones as well. Well done, you two. You've come up with some really great ones there. So we're now going to go into resilience, but before we do that, I just want you to think about what you're going to do to commit, to really fully commit, to make sure that you honor those vows. So you might want to note down some maybe action steps or just some things that you're going to do on a daily basis, just to make sure that you are sticking with that, because you made a promise to your soul. That's an eternal promise. That's going to be with you forever. You know, that's always going to be there, even beyond this lifetime. So think about what you're going to do in this lifetime to help you. But remember that beyond this lifetime, those vows are still going to be there as well. So resilience. So we are hardwired to survive. Our well-being is connected to our resilience, and life is full of different stressors. To become more resilient, we need to become less reactive and more conscious. So choose what to do from a place of trust, faith, and calm, rather than from a place of fear. Stress happens day in, day out, all day long. And that stress can either push us under, or it can push us towards transformation and personal growth. It all depends on how we respond and how we interpret what is happening and going on around us. So we need to learn how to respond in a different way to get a different result. When we choose a different way, we disturb our neural networks that are connected to fear, worry, and/or anxiety. And when we come from a place of trust, faith, and calm, we can activate the neural networks connected to patience, compassion, understanding, and trust, faith, and hope. And when we choose this way, we can, through repetition and conditioning, so repetition conditions our mind and our body to work together. And that's why I keep saying, what are you going to do on a daily basis? What are you going to commit to do each day? Because that repetition is really going to help you to form some good, healthy habits and to break out of the unhelpful and unsupportive habits. So this is known as being actively conscious or consciousness. So we are becoming more aware, and then we are taking action from that more aware place. We are becoming more conscious of what is holding us back. We are becoming more conscious of what is getting in the way. Learning how we can adapt well happens in a space between the stress or the event and our choice of how we are going to respond to it. And it's important to remember, setbacks are simply set-ups for a comeback or for something much better. So if you are hit with these hurdles, with these things that are just there to maybe slow you down or stop you for a little while or to get you to go in a different direction, don't let them be what stops you completely. Take a breather. You might want to, do things in a different way, but don't stop. Just realize that it's either to help you to come back better, to bounce back better, or because something much better is being lined up for you. So you have to go in a slightly different direction. So remember what I said, learning how we can adapt well happens in the space between the stress or the event and our choice of how we are going to respond to it. So we can be the victim or we can be the victor. We can let it floor us or we can be confident and say, okay, this is happening. What am I going to do with it? What can I do with what I'm faced with? How can I use it to my best advantage? Yeah. So what can I learn from it? And we've got 5 pillars of resilience. So we have the mental. So that is focused on if we're determined, how determined we are, how focused we are, our strong sense of self and our confidence in ourselves as well. And then we've got the physical, which is all about stamina, how strong we are, how fit and healthy we are, and our energy levels. So we really want to be good energy levels if possible. And our emotional. So stable, composed together, think the rock. And social, good self-esteem, strong self-belief, the support of others, and a trusted inner circle. And spiritual, faith, trust, sense of meaning, sense of cause, purpose greater than the ego's needs as well. So sometimes the things that happen to us in life might make no sense to us at the time, but then later on we realize we've been gifted with wisdom or insight or an understanding or, a level of knowledge that we wouldn't have had otherwise, and we can share that with others. And that can be then a spiritual awakening, or we might come into our purpose. We might understand that the wisdom, the knowledge, the information that we have because of that situation is something we can then give to others, and it gives our life a greater purpose. So these combined create a strong bounce back factor. And things we can do to cultivate resilience and a strong bounce back factor are to be solution focused. So no matter what life throws at us, there's always a way forward. There's always a way through it. We've just got to find it. And if we are solution focused, we're then looking for the solutions rather than all the closed doors or all the blocks or all the ways that are not working. We're like, well, what can I do? Instead of, I can't do it. We can be creative as well. It's really important to get creative, to be creative. Then we can find the solutions. We can create a way forward, and to be future focused as well. So it's understanding that is going to pass. It's not going to be our situation forever. So what can we then do to realize that? We can realize we've got a future. That this too shall pass. It's not always going to be this way. And by being future focused, we then can get creative, and then we can be solution focused. We can also become more adaptable by seeing it as problem solving, making it into a game and having fun problem solving by getting creative and thinking outside of the box. Sometimes we can get so blinkered and only see what is going on right in front of us. By thinking outside of the box, that is a way of activating our creativity. And seeing it as a skill that you have access to right now. So sometimes people think, well, I'm not the kind of person who is solution focused. I'm not very creative. But by sometimes having adversity, being faced with adversity, going through hardship, we then gain the skill. We then remember that we are creator beings, and we then are able to hone in on that skill of problem solving and finding a way and thinking outside of the box and taking those blinkers off as well, and seeing that there is a lot more ability to problem solve than maybe we first thought. Being mentally flexible as well, so less rigid thinking, like we spoke about earlier. Our beliefs can sometimes keep us in a loop, but when we can be open to changing our mind, basically, changing our belief system, changing our thoughts, changing our feelings, we then become a lot more flexible and less rigid in our thinking. Having meaningful goals and being motivated to succeed. And remember, creativity is key. Praise and reappraise, evaluate and reevaluate changes made. Ask yourself, are these changes healthy? Are they positive? Are they helpful? Are they worth it? Are they supportive? And like we mentioned earlier, are they in alignment with your, end goal? Be open to change, be open to learn, be open to grow, be open to improve, and be open to explore. And focus on cooperation. So sometimes it's not helpful to be the lone wolf and do it all on your own. Sometimes it's important to cultivate strong friendships and focus on community building. And above all, practice patience. It's most likely whatever you are manifesting or creating or generating is not going to be done in a day. Changing our mind, changing our belief system, it's not going to be done in a day. It's chipping away every day. So practice patience. Don't try and do it all in one day because it's not going to work. Activate the brain's creative mode. So the brain's creative centers are found in the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex. This is where we process moment-to-moment input from our surroundings. And we will then compare that input to past experiences and decide the best way to react to it. So remember, like I said before, we have the beliefs create the thoughts create the feelings, and it just goes on and on and on. So what we have in place as a belief system is really going to shape our outcome. It's going to shape our reality. So if we have the beliefs that are going to support success, we're going to keep moving forward. If we have beliefs that tell us that we're a victim and that we can't and it's impossible, guess what outcome we're going to get? It's not going to keep us driving forward in those most difficult of times. So it's really important to figure out what beliefs are supporting you and what beliefs are not supporting you. And the ones that are not supporting you, they're the ones you need to change, rearrange, or just let go of completely. Becoming more conscious of how we react and respond allows us to reprogram our learned or habitual behaviors to become more balanced and more supportive to ourselves. This way we can create solutions that help us to keep moving forward no matter what life sends our way. If we feel like the world is not ready for us, or not ready for perhaps what you have created or your ideas or what you have to offer, or even your unique expression or take of life, then reframe this belief. If it's not serving you, change it. You may be absolutely correct. Maybe the world is not ready for you yet. However, show up anyway. Stand firm in your unique power. Plant those seeds, show the way, lead the way, show what is possible, and you do you anyway. You do you your way. Stay in alignment with your unique expression. It's so important. Authenticity is needed more than ever in this world right now, and we will be rewarded for authenticity. You are here right now with your uniqueness in all its glory as a gift to the world, so please don't hide away. Be brave, be bold, be free, and be proud of your authenticity. Be proud to be authentically you. I'm going to speak a little bit about confidence as well. And in this regard, about mental reframing. So how you see a situation will affect your ability to deal with it and to cope with it. And the more confident we feel about getting through a situation, the smoother the path will become. So I want you to start seeing yourself succeeding. See yourself as successful. Embrace each situation with both compassion and kindness for yourself, and also anyone else who may be involved as well. Visualization helps us to handle a situation well, and we can mentally picture how we want it to go. So if we see it unfold well in our mind, we can then create a more positive outcome for ourselves when it unfolds in real life. So I want us to explore now, who or what version of you do you need to become to overcome the challenge or the challenges that you are currently facing? You can note down in your notebook or wherever you're taking notes. And just think about who you need to see yourself as, more importantly than not. What do you need to believe about yourself? What do you need to think about yourself? What do you need to feel about yourself? I'm going to do a little bit more self-inquiry as well. So I would like you to note down the answers to these questions. You can either do it in the chat or in your own notebook or wherever you're taking your notes. What is one thing that you can do to change your current situation for the better? So whatever it is that you are going through right now, what is one thing that you can do? Because so often, if we feel powerless, we feel like we can't do anything, but it's not true. What is that one thing? So it might be reaching out to somebody, it might be speaking to someone, it might be doing something in a different way, it might be seeking out information or knowledge, or finding the right book or the right video, or somebody who's got the know-how, or maybe joining a group or something like that. What is one thing that you can do? Maybe it's just making the decision to do something. What do you need to support yourself through this in the best way possible? So sometimes we forget to support ourselves. We forget to be there for ourselves. So what do you need to support yourself through it in the best way? Maybe it is that you need to be more compassionate, more loving, kinder, more patient. Maybe to believe in yourself more. So what do you need to support yourself through this in the best way possible? And also, I want you to think about, what aligned action steps do you need to take? What do you actively need to do in order to make it happen? Because it's one thing thinking about it, it's even one thing seeing yourself do it, but you have to actually do something in order to create that ripple effect. So what aligned action steps do you need to take? And also, what commitments do you need to make and stick with? We did some vows earlier, some soul vows earlier. Maybe you need to do the same for your human self. Maybe there's some human vows, human commitments that you need to make and also stick with as well. Let go of the lack version of me that is in the way. Yeah, it's a really good one. So looking at those answers now, do either of you want to work with me through anything there? Is there any resistance or anything coming forward, or any beliefs that you feel like you need some help with to get through? Or are you both okay? Are you both aware of what you need to do now and confident? Let me know where you're at if you need any help. You're okay, Francis? Good. And you're okay as well, Anita. Okay, good. So from now on, choose self-love over fear. Choose If you are in that place of self-loathing or self-abandonment, again, swap that for love, self-love. Keep coming back to self-love. Keep coming back home to yourself and your highest truth. If you loved yourself completely and unconditionally, I would like you to note down these answers for me. So if you loved yourself unconditionally, what would you start? And also, what would you stop? So what would you start and what would you stop? And you can note down either in the chat or privately, whatever works best for you. So if you loved yourself completely and unconditionally, what would you stop? What would you start? What would you give to yourself? What would you give up? What would you forgive yourself for? What would you forgive others for? And what would you let go of? So what would you stop? What would you start? What would you give yourself? What would you give up? Then, what would you forgive yourself for? What would you forgive others for? And what would you let go of? And again, you need to think about what you can do to support these answers as well, because it's one thing understanding and having these answers there in front of you, but how are you going to personally honor them? What are you going to do with those answers? How are you going to make them work for you? What are you going to do to then support yourself now that you've got those answers? Again, just a little bit extra in that self-inquiry. So if you want more or a better quality or different, it is important to create space for it and to create the capacity to hold more or better or different too. So sometimes we say we want this or we want that or we want more of this or better or different. But again, if your system is not like in the right place to hold it, if you haven't done the work to be at peace with having more or better or different, it's going to reject it. It's going to push it away. You're going to self-sabotage basically. So you have to create the space for it mentally, physically, and energetically. So that's having the right beliefs, the thoughts in place that are going to support it. Saying, yes, I am mentally prepared to have more, better, or different. Then energetically, energy-wise, you need to be in alignment energetically, vibrationally, frequency match for it, for the more, for the better, for the different. Physically as well, set up so you can have more, better, or different. That's something to bear in mind as well, to make sure that you're not going to self-sabotage, you're not going to reject. We're not going to then, push away the one thing that we want or the experiences that we want. We've been working so hard to get somewhere. We don't want to get there and then, mess it up for ourselves. This is what I say all the time. You hear about these people who've won the lottery. They've got so much money all of a sudden. They don't know what to do with it. Mentally, they're not prepared. Energetically, they're not prepared. Physically, they're not prepared. And they self-sabotage and they get rid of it all. Because they didn't do the work, the prep work. They were not prepared. Their system was not prepared. So these little tasks that I'm giving you all the time, they're helping you to become prepared on all levels. So it's important to prepare and expand. So we want to expand energetically, mentally, within the body, so the nervous system, spiritually. And it starts within you. So we work within and then it shifts all around us. in order for it to match and align with what you truly know you need and deserve to be happy or healthy or strong in all ways, we have to look at those areas. We have to see where we are right now. And if we are not aligned, if we're not a frequency match, if we're not mentally prepared, what can we do to change that up so that we are ready, so we are prepared? If you know what you want, I can help you to align with it. So I have a group coaching session focused on receiving healing, and that is tomorrow, so February the 21st, which is Friday. And at 7:30 p.m. British time is when I'll be holding it. And it is part of my Transform, Grow, Thrive soul coaching session that I am running all this year. And if you wish to join us, then you can reach out to me for more information at nayalla.com or nayalla@yahoo.com. And it's going to be just like this, basically, with us coming together and me helping you to work through things. So not only will you get a monthly live Zoom session with me that will be recorded as well, you'll get continual support, and you will also get weekly tasks, self-inquiry or homework to complete on your own in order to keep you focused and on track between monthly sessions with me. And also you get a private online group included. So you get access to a supportive online community that you can connect with anytime you like. Plus, at the end of the year, you will automatically get access to the New Year's Manifestation Program that will run from December 2025 through to January 2026. And there is a price increase. So it was £55.55. It is now £77.77. So that is still really affordable, because if you break it down, it works out under £20 a week and less than £3 per day. So if you go to Starbucks, a coffee is, I think, £3.50 or over when I check the price. I don't go into Starbucks, but I check the price. So this is for under a price of coffee each day. So an investment, very affordable investment that is going to transform your life. It's going to give you tools that you can use for the rest of your life. So if you are ready to invest in your growth, and if you are ready to show up for yourself and transform, grow, and thrive, I am ready to support and guide you on that journey. And I reward those who show up for themselves. And I reward those who are ready to decide that investment in you is a good idea. So if you sign up to Transform, Grow, Thrive within the next 24 hours, I will gift you Be You to the Fullest, You Have Value as an added bonus for you. So that's an audio course. And it's only for those of you that are here live with me today and make the decision now to join Transform, Grow, Thrive. So has anybody got any questions or anything they want to share with me? You wish you won the lottery. I'm sure your life is going to feel like you've won the lottery. I wouldn't worry about that. There's plenty of good things ahead of you there. Anyone want to share anything with me? You all good? Everything's fine. Okay, so that's all I want to share with you. So I'm going to stop the record, but you two stay with me. Okay. Introducing Transform, Grow, Thrive. Monthly soul coaching sessions and a beautiful community group. If you are looking for a great community of beautiful souls on a similar path to you, each working on the same themes and issues or similar themes and issues to you, if you are done trying and attempting to do it all alone, if you are looking to transform your whole life and create better, if you are ready to dive in deep, do the work and grow through it all and actually thrive, if you are ready to feel more empowered, stronger, and more confident, more capable and able, if you are ready to take the leap, if you are ready to make the best investment of your time and energy, then you are ready to take the leap and invest in my monthly soul coaching sessions, named Transform, Grow, Thrive. Either click on the link in the description and sign up today, or reach out to me at nayalla.com for more info, or reach out to me and find out all the other ways that you can work with me. I believe in you. I believe you can. And I believe together, as we rise up, feel more confident in who we are and what we have to share with the world, we can all create a better world, a more sustainable world, a healthier world for us all. Peace.